Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hair Loss Show. And in this episode we're going to continue our series of Q&A. So questions that you've submitted, so please stick around and we'll go through some more.
Welcome to the Hair Loss Show. Dr. Russell Knudsen and Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash discuss issues relating to hair loss and the medical and surgical treatment of hair loss in both men and women.
Good, some more Q&A today, and we're going to go through some more questions that you've submitted to our community channel. Thanks again for sending those questions in, and we'll get straight into it. All right, so from Loose JR, having a hair transplant, would you say you have to stay on finasteride and minoxidil for life, or just following year of regrowth, or just the following year of regrowth? Good question. All right, and it's something that we get asked a lot. And the concept that I want to unpack here is that a hair transplant is going to add more hair to a particular area. We're adding healthy hair, strong, thick hairs to a particular area to increase the density of that hair. Medical therapy, so your minoxidil and your finasteride, is designed to stop the progression of male pattern hair loss or female pattern hair loss, and stop the progression of that of losing more hair. So they address different issues. So if you get a transplant, the use of minoxidil or finasteride is not necessarily going to change the outcome of that surgical process. What it's doing is to try and stop any further loss behind those grafts or around those grafts. All right, so when I talk to people about surgery, it's not medical therapy or surgical therapy. I think the conversation needs to happen simultaneously. They both work on different parts of the scalp, but they're both trying to target the effective outcome, which is to give you the best possible outcome, is to give you good density in an area and also stop progression of further hair loss. So it's not something that I would say, oh look, just for a year after surgery, that's what you need. I think it's long-term therapy to stop any further hair loss. All right, so hopefully that clarifies that point. Next question from Asan. Hello, Dr. Vikram. Hope you're doing great. I want to ask, does PRP increase hair density, and does it grow new hair? All right, and the answer to that question is no. All right, nothing grows new hair. If you've got an area that only has 10 hairs, then you're only ever going to have 10 hairs in that area. The only way you can add more hair to an area is from a surgical procedure, by having a hair transplant. Any sort of medical therapy or regenerative therapy is designed at stimulating that hair. So what you may do is you may thicken up that hair, you may increase the density, the thickness, the hair shaft diameter, not density, the hair shaft diameter of that hair. But PRP, it's not stem cell therapy, they're just growth factors that help boost the existing hairs that are there. And that's important because there are a lot of people that have PRP treatments that are expecting, massive hair growth, and they're just disappointed at the end of a number of sessions where they don't experience that. And it's important to clarify that if you're having these sort of treatments, that's great. What is the outcome? Make sure that you understand, make sure that you have a consultation with your doctor, and then you go through what are the expectations and what can be achieved. And the idea is that stimulation therapy, such as PRP, is just there to try and, stimulate the existing hairs to become a little bit stronger, but it's not going to add more hair to an area. All right, thanks for that question though. And the last question for today from Gabu Chan. How long should I wait to get a hair transplant after starting oral finasteride or topical minoxidil? So like the previous question that I answered before, medical therapy addresses a different part of the process than surgical therapy. So one could make the argument that, well, as long as you don't need to wait a particular time, you need to be on the medication for a particular length of time before you have surgery. You could effectively start it and then proceed to plan your surgical option at a later date. That said, all right, one of the things that you want to understand is if you've got male pattern hair loss or female pattern hair loss, androgenic alopecia, understand that this is a progressive condition. All right, and we don't have the cure for this. What we're looking at with any sort of medical therapy is to try and stabilize this condition. So, it is a concept to say, right, well, start on the medication and see how you progress. Make sure that you confirm that you are stable. Then you're on firmer ground to consider having a hair transplant procedure. Because if you're a bit too aggressive and have a surgical procedure and then realize that you're not stable, you're one of that small percentage of people that are not stable on medication, then you're going to you may experience further hair loss and may require further transplantation to address the areas where you continue to lose hair. So I think it's good practice to be able to assess that you are stable on medication before progressing into that surgical phase. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Thanks again for watching the channel. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.